The fact that you're here means that you have culture. Congratulations. I'm about to break open the fine china so we can all eat well on this video. I'm Coach Nerf and this is Footsies 101, playing the square pegs and round holes that are the fighting game characters in Smash. Ryu, Ken, Terry, and Kazuya Mishima. It is not easy to play these characters if you are not used to traditional fighting game inputs, but with time, we'll get there. As Ryu himself said in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix, "Don't fight for victory, fight to improve yourself. Victory will come." By the end of this video, you'll be able to identify the characteristics and abilities of fighting game characters and demonstrate how to control them effectively. Let's first decide which path you want to take. Do you choose Ryu with the slow, methodical neutral and crushing shield pressure? Or do you choose Ken, a more combo-heavy and aggressive version of Ryu? Maybe you'd like to have a comeback mechanic and some explosive power on top of some solid and reliable kill confirms. Perhaps Terry Bogard might be for you. But if you choose Kazuya, know that you go down a dark path. A path that corrupts good men. Forever will it dominate your destiny. Consume you, it will. Play a warm-up game is your flavor of FGC to get a feel for their moves and movement. While these four characters do have some significant differences, what they share is something fundamental to any fighting game character, even outside of Smash. What is known as footsies. This is the neutral reminiscent of traditional 2D fighters. Two players standing just beyond arm's length, dashing back and forth, waiting anxiously to find an opening to strike. It's the shuffling that can potentially lead to one player overextending, or another using a movement burst tool to close the gap and create an opening. It's a combination of game knowledge and game sense, knowing what both you and your opponent can do to win neutral, as well as feeling the tension in the air and trying to catch them slipping. It is, at its core, a battle of wits, a quick time event mind game with often no more choices than rock, paper, scissors. For now, let's just start with the basics. Go into a game against a player, preferably not a CPU. Work on perfecting your neutral by dashing back and forth, using jumps to force your opponent to shield, then going in and poking with one of your hit confirms. This group of characters can benefit from whittling down the shield and forcing your opponent to act or simply take the hit. Then, back off. Reset to neutral once you've got your first hit, then practice it again. Do this until you win neutral 50 times. Each of these characters in their respective games are honestly what one would consider basic. They are often beginner-friendly characters that get you used to playing the game itself, having more common and less complicated combos and inputs. There's a reason Dalsim and Armor King aren't the representatives for Street Fighter and Tekken, and it's not just because they're less recognizable. They're genuinely harder to play and would therefore be harder to transform into a character that works in Smash Ultimate. Shotos, like Ken and Ryu, are fighting game characters that traditionally have a few hallmarks. They have a projectile, in this case a fireball, or two in Ryu's case, as well as a horizontal rush move and a dragon punch, or DP for short. This is a high-risk, high-reward uppercut that can be comboed into to secure damage and stocks. Although they are not Shotos, Terry and Kazuya also have a projectile, a horizontal rush move, and a DP as well. For this drill, we'll look at using these projectiles in neutral. Most of the time, you're not looking for your projectiles to really hit your opponent. If they do, that's great. What you really want is to force them to choose an option that you can punish. Ryu's Shakunetsu is a multi-hit fireball that can deal a lot of shield pressure, allowing Ryu to follow up with a shield break setup, a grab, down tilt to poke through the shield, etc. Terry can use Power Wave to force opponents to jump over and in towards him, or shield it and let Terry inch closer for an attack. In a set against a player, use your projectiles to get a punish either directly or indirectly. Then, again, back off and reset to neutral. Do this 50 times. Finally, it's time to follow up after winning neutral. The damage and combo potential of these characters is definitely there. They're all powerhouses once they get their advantage states, but even once you win neutral, you still need to be ready for your foe's intended methods of escape. The guessing games don't end with the first hit. Now we work on forcing them to buffer things like air dodges, jumps, etc. Follow up on their landing techs, dash forward to catch an air dodge out, and recognize when you can pull the trigger on your big finishers. Ken and Ryu can use light presses on the buttons for up tilt and down tilt to get the weaker versions of the moves that will let them combo and kill confirm into Shoryuken, roundhouse kicks, and more. Terry's jab hit confirms give you the ability to go into up special, rising tackle for a kill off the top, or down special, power dunk, for a kill off the side. While these confirms are SDI-able, Terry can often follow the SDI to get damage instead of the whole stock. And then there's Kazuya, whose Electric Wind Godfists can lead to a constant string of 50-50 coin tosses for your opponent to pray that you make a mistake or guess wrong. Work on securing your close-range combos in practice until you achieve your hit confirms and follow-ups 50 times. In true martial artist fashion, we've really been putting in the paces for this one with lots of repetition to help solidify your play's foundations for your character of choice. But now, it's time to enter the real sparring mode. Play a first to 10 with a good friend or rival that you often feel challenged by. With these characters, it's vital that you are able to pick up on habits and turn them against your opponents. Situational awareness is absolutely the key here. Recognize when they tech roll in or out a lot and look for the next opportunity to send them into a tech situation. Do they really like one particular aerial that they often want to land with? Find that timing and drop shield on time to parry, then let loose. Over the course of all the games you'll be playing with your partner, you should have plenty of time to recognize repeated patterns of behavior that will let you prepare for those opportunities. In this set, do the following. 1. Win neutral 30 times. 2. Take 10 stocks with your character's kill confirms. 3. Beat your opponent's shield by either poking, shattering, or forcing them to drop it 25 times. And 4. Win at least 3 games. The road to victory is long and arduous, but with a mindset like Ryu, seeking out only the strongest and fighting without malice or greed, you too can become the next big FGC star to make your name in the upper echelons of Smash stardom. Riddles, T, Jazo, Icon, Vendetta, Takada, Aquila, Ferps, and countless others have dominated tournaments with these burly fighters and will continue to break through boundaries and push the limits of what these fish out of water can do in the platform fighter that is Smash Ultimate. I'm excited to see you add your name to the list. This has been Coach Nerf, as always. Thanks for watching.